about SAP, it is actually known as SAP. If we people who are into SAP, they don't call it SAP. The reason being, it is not one word. It is combination of a different word under which is SAP, which stands for System Application and Product in Data Processing. All right. So that the correct that is the reason we always call it as an SAP. We don't call it SAP. So this is the whole background of it. I mean, in 1972, it was people they were working. There were four friends who were working in IBM, and from there it's like they got an idea. So they started with this company in 1972, and that's how it's like SAP started its journey from that from Germany. Then there are three architecture into your SAP. One is a presentation server, one is an application server, and another is a database server. So this presentation server that we have it here, so this is something it's like which I'll show that to you, and including the database server also I'll show to you after my PPT. Now, see, to implement your any of your ERP, whether you have it your SAP HCM or you have it your the success factor, to implement that there is a methodology involved in it. So SAP HCM also has a methodology which is known as a SAP methodology, which is accelerated SAP methodology. So that also there is a 5 phase, and so here it's like you can see all those 5 phases, and these 5 phases is the one which you're seeing that it is more applicable if you are part of an implementation project. But if you are in a support project, so in this case, this methodology has already been implemented. And that's where it's like after going live, which is your 5th phase, after this phase, then you start the support part of it. So let's see, it's like what is there into the first phase. First phase is like we have the project preparation. Second phase, we have the business blueprint. And in this business blueprint, it's like you do all your documentation and everything. It's like which you document the client requirement and what you going to give to the client. So all those documentation, it's like has to be part of a phase 2. Then you have a phase 3, which is a realization, and in this realization, it's like we have it. You are basically doing all your configuration as per your the second phase as per your blueprint, which you have actually documented and which has been signed by the client and by the consulting partner also. So once your configuration it has been over, then you have it your the testing phase, and once your testing and everything it is over, then you make it go live, and then from here your support phase basically starts. So we're going to discuss more about this, once we start with the session, and then probably we'll discuss more about it. It's like what all those documentation and what all those details basically comes into your this session, all your SAP methodology and what actually we do into each phases and what documentation we prepare. So we'll see all those details like once we actually start with the regular session. Now, just talking about your SAP HCM, there are close to around 16 submodules into your SAP HCM. Now, here in this slide, it's like we have mentioned few of the module. One of the module, it is like we have it here as an organization management. And since the term itself, it is talking about the organization management. So in organization management, what we do, we basically create the organization structure of the company. See, every company, there would be a structure. Like, for example, the company which you are working in Dubai right now, they would also have some structure, right? Who is heading that company? From there, it's like in how the hierarchy is coming down, and then who is particularly, it's like in heading those department, and then probably the hierarchy in that particular department, how it is, then executive, and then senior executive, lead manager. So all those things, it is like which is called as your organization management. So this basically it helps you to understand it's like how organization structure it looks like and what kind of a level the organization has it. Like for example, in one of the structure, the screenshot which I have taken up here. So this is what the organization structure which is mentioned here. So you can see there is a company with the name ABC, and this company you can see they are present into Bangalore, and here they are also present into Hyderabad. And into the Bangalore division, it's like the one which you're seeing it. They also have their IT division. In IT division, this particular person has, is the IT manager, and he is, he's having this position. And then here you can also see the name. Coleman Mustard, it's like his name. And, he's the person actually who's holding this position. Same way, it is like you can see all these position also. And here in this position, it's like you can see all your further functionalities, like you can assign who is going to hold this position. So this is the way it's like you can see all your organization structure into your organization management.
Ashish, sorry to interrupt.
Yes, Yusuf.
Yes, actually, I do have some basic information on what is OAM, what is PA, what is time management, etc. So if you want to skip fast, no issues.
Okay, so what we will do, we will cover these module a bit faster so that we can focus on the is there any specific module that you are focusing on during this training session?
No, actually, I'll tell you what was my idea. I'm closely working on like Web Pro development earlier. Okay, then I kind of moved into different modules like all from the portal side. Like we have like 4 portals: SRM, CRM, and then like customer portal, and then like employee self portal. Okay. So I was thinking like maybe it's a good time to shift from portal to HCM because I have some knowledge on HCM, like it is OM, and I have some interest on it. So basically, I thought like if I get some training, then I'll get some more knowledge, and it will be helpful for me to do a certification and then move officially into this team because currently, like all my requests are portal related. I've used, we stopped developing the Java I've used. Okay. So all these developments are handled as a Web app, which I'm not that much going into it. So I thought like rather than going into app technical, for Web app or something because of the new UI file, etc. I thought it would be a good option to switch to the HCM part, core part.
Right.
Yes. So basically, like what my intention was, like how well I should prepare, and what is the best ways to process certification.
Sure. So in that case, Yusuf, my suggestion it would be it's like because see you have been working on those WTJ, WTA, and the latest one which has been launched with right. So in that case, my suggestion would be so like we will focus on those basic module of your SAP HCM, which includes your OMPA, time, and payroll, and and some part of we will also focus on your like for example those that we have it here into your kind of a training and everything like recruitment. So I think that will be good enough for you to prepare those basic knowledge of it. Okay, and then payroll, which happens to be the main area. So that would be the main focus during the entire training because maximum, your opening and maximum your requirement is always going to come into the payroll side of it. So if you're interested into making your detail into your payroll, so it is like then we're going to focus more on the payroll side of it.
Okay.
All right, because almost your 80% of your all the requirement, which comes into your SAP HCM, this is almost on payroll side of it. Not only just back in India, it is also into across the globe that you come across. So, maximum your requirement, it will be on the payroll.
Sure.
All right, so that will be my main focus area. So anyway, let's see that the whole this basic module also. So organization management, it is the kind of organization chart that you prepare it. Then here it comes to be your personal administration, and into your personal administration, it is like you are taking all the policies from the company and you are implementing all those policies that we have it here into the organization. All right. So into like you have the hiring policy, you would be having the retirement policy, you would be having those transfer policy, you would be having those promotion policy. So all these policy, what we do, we take it from the client and then we implement that into the system. Apart from this policy, we also have it all the how the basic screen will look like. So all those details, it's like we do that into your personal administration. Like this is your one of the screenshot which I have taken it from the screen. Like here you can see hiring, retirement, leaving, then you have a disciplinary action, then you have a termination. So all these are your policy that we have it into the organization. Then here it is like I have shown it's like if we do the hiring, how the screen basically it looks like. So this is how actually we go ahead and implement all this policy of an organization into your personal administration. uh, Now, personal administration, it is also about maintaining all the employee record into the system. So there are various input type that we have it, and we maintain all those record into the system for any particular employee. So this is your another data. So you can see all your this particular detail. You're trying to maintain all these personal data. You have it your address, bank detail, and so on. It's like which whatever you want to maintain. So you will actually have to come here and maintain that into your personal administration. Then here it starts with your time. See, time, it is basically it is important in terms of because if you want to run your payroll, so those time detail, it is it helps to facilitate the payroll in terms because let's suppose if a person has been absent, so whether this absent which he has taken it, it's a paid leave or it's an unpaid leave. If it is a paid leave, then it is fine. If it is unpaid leave, then you have to inform to the system it's like that salary has to be deducted. So those all configuration and everything, it's like it has to come into your time management. So there are two time management that we have it into the system, which is known as a positive, and another it is known as a negative time management. Negative time management, it is mostly used into corporate because they just go ahead and those they maintain it. And positive time management, it is basically it is required to go ahead and maintain into your manufacturing setup because there they map what time the person is coming into and what time the person is going out, right? So in those areas, it's like we have those positive time management. Now there are various tools that you actually go ahead and do your time management, which includes you can see it's like your clock in and clock out. This is basically I have seen that into manufacturing setup. Then you have the cross application timesheet that you maintain that into your system detail. Then you have it your ESS and MSS, which you know that very well. From there also you can maintain your time, of an employee. Nowadays, employees have an ESS and MSS access. So through there also, it's like they can send this information about their time to them or to their HR. Then you have the TMW, which is known as the Time Managers Workplace. And into Time Managers Workplace, you also inform it through your system to take this. And then another, it is your mobile device. There are various other tools also, but these are the main four, that tool actually we have it here. Then we inform into the system, then you can see it's like, it has come into the system, and this is how your salary gets calculated on. Because it is very important, it's like, your it's a paid, unpaid, and how many days you have been on leave. So all this calculation has to be part of your, the payroll processing. It has to facilitate. Then another detail, it comes to be your payroll, which is almost like your main important section into your SAP HCM. You have it. It's like your payroll. It's nothing. It's just whatever the salary which you're paying to your employee. So in this case, it is what is important to run your payroll. So these are the basic module of your SAP HCM that we have it here. The first thing, it is like you have to do your recruitment. After your recruitment, you have to create your organization structure. And in that organization structure, it's like you will have to show it's like if this new addition it is coming, whether it's a replacement of the existing people or if there is a new hiring which is happening, then where this person is going to fit into the organization structure. Then also you have to maintain all your employee records and everything. then your time management, and then finally to run the payroll, and then you also generate these reports. So these are all part of your your SAP HCM, and these are all the core module that we actually have it here. Now here you can see the factor influencing your payment and deduction, which includes your basic pay, your gratuity, sickness, bonuses, wage element, leave, overtime, and the night work bonuses that we have it here. Now, this is your basic pay. So you see almost every country, so far, whatever I have basically implemented. I mean, because I am basically a payroll person, so I have implemented, payroll for US, then UK, then Australia, Singapore, Malaysia, and into India. So these are the countries like which uh, payroll I have worked on. So almost every country, they have the basic pay. So you can see here it's like this basic pay which has been created, and this has been created for Nevada, so which is a part of the US. So there also it's like they have the basic pay. So the first thing is like you have to maintain your basic pay. Then you also have it your recurring payment and deduction. So recurring payment and deduction, since the term itself is saying it's like which is a kind of a recurring in nature. Sometimes which the payment which comes into like for example it comes sometimes. Like here you can see donation payment some they have given. So this is not happening every month, right? So that is the reason it is recurring in nature. Then you have it your additional payment. So additional anything which is additional like your bonus or something that we maintain that into your additional payment. Then all your loan, so the good part about your payroll, it is like the system calculates everything into your payroll automatically. You just have to provide certain data into your payroll. Like for example, you can see here it's like your basic data, your condition, how much the payment terms and condition is going to be, how much the payment is going to be. So all those calculations basically it's like you can do that into the system itself. So here you can see it's like it is the 9% monthly annual calculation which is going to be there, and you can see your installment, how much is going to be deducted. So like this, it's like you can maintain all your record. Then also it is like your membership fees. If you have any kind of a membership fees, which is your LIC member, I mean that if the company is giving any benefit or something, that also which you can come here and maintain. This is your off-cycle payment. And in this off-cycle payment, if you have see what is off-cycle payment? Off-cycle payment, it is like for example, you have missed out
bonuses and other stuff.
Right, absolutely. So bonus and other stuff, it's like for example, Diwali has just passed, right? So if you have missed out your those stuff, and then you can basically rather than rerunning the whole payroll, you can just come here and run it through the off cycle and make the payment to that employee. Then here we have it your retroactive accounting. Retroactive accounting, it is that a kind of a retro in nature, which means under those previous payments. By any chance, if you have missed out, so those retro, that effect is going to take place with the retroactive accounting. We're going to focus more into all these area once we, start with the session. Here, I'm just covering those topics so that, you can understand it's like that these are the areas like which we're going to focus on. Then this is your salary slip. So one salary slip, it is like which you actually have it from the SAP. And another, if you want your own company salary slip, you can actually go ahead and put your own salary slip into your system. So like this, you can actually create, whatever, either the standard, or if the customer is interested to prepare their own salary slip, you can actually go ahead and do that, their own salary slip, you can configure it. Now this is your, again, payroll overview, which includes your retirement loans, advances, bonuses, off-cycle, time-related retroactive accounting, taxation. Taxation is very important, because every country, they have a different taxation altogether. Then your earnings, your deduction, and your statutory deduction, those, all these areas like which actually affects your payroll. Then here, these are your statutory deduction, like your HRA, company lease accommodation, and company owner accommodation. So these things detailed, it's like that we have those tax, that we pay. So these are exemptions. So if there is any exemption, it's like how those calculation has to be done. Then this is your car and conveyance. So then your section 80C, 80D, and your PF deduction, provident fund deduction, then your other statutory deduction, which includes your ESI, and then it includes your LWF and PTEX. So all those detail and everything, it's like that we have seen, we can actually do all those detail into your SAP HCM. So here you can see all these details like that we have mentioned up here. These are the certain standard report that we actually have it here, and this is your form 16. So you can also see your form 16 how it is basically it's going to look like. So then this is your performance management, and then this is all your performance management. It's like how your appraisal and everything it is going to be into your this detail. This is your training and event management, so you have it your training and event management, those detail and everything. So, and apart from this, so let's just log in into your architecture, and let me show you how the SAP architecture it looks like. I'm sure you would have seen those architecture, because since you're already working into ESS and MSS, so you would already know this how the look and feel of your SAP HCM basically is. So here you can see all your client detail, and you will have to maintain your this detail, and enter your this detail. We have it here, and the user ID and your password. So you will have to go ahead and maintain this. The moment you maintain this, you're going to log in into your system, and you can see it's like the company which you have logged in, which is known as the IDIS. So into your this IDIS, you can see all your related module. Like here you have it your HR. So if I unlock your this one, you can see your personal management, you can see your time management, you can see your payroll, you can see your organization management, you can see your travel management, training, and even now suppose if you want to see more detail into your organization management, so you can unlock it, and you can see those various way you can create your organization management. And then this is your info system. This is where it's like you can actually go ahead and prepare all your reports and everything. So here you can see all your existing reports and everything. It's like how it's basically going to look like. So you just have to click on it, and existing organization unit, like for example, if you want to see your existing organization unit, so you just have to click it and just execute it. So in this case, I think this is going to take lots of time to I'm not going to run this report. I'm going to cancel this because this will take this is a demo system, and it will take oh my god. So here you can see more than I think somewhere on this report has come here. So I think the more than plus 5,000 data is like which has already come up here. So here you can see all your organization detail and everything. It's like which has come up here. So these are all your organization unit, your billing, your sales, logistic, financial. So you can see different people, they have created their different organization unit, and this is how actually you can see and you can do all your existing organization unit which you have it here into the system. Now apart from this, you also have it your personal management. So here you can see it's like your recruitment and your personal administration, and you can maintain your all your policies and everything. It's like which you have it here. So here you can see your all your actions, and into your all these action, the one which you are seeing that here, like your hiring, your transfer, your that you can see somebody has created with the company Infosys hiring. You have a retirement, you have a termination. So all those details, it's like you'll be seeing that here. Now if you want to maintain a certain record, you can actually come here and maintain those certain record. Like for example, if I select this your employee number, and enter your this employee number, what we're going to do, we're going to see all your this detail that we have it here, like OM and PA and address. Like let's suppose if I want to see this record, I can come here and I can see all these records for this employee which has been maintained. So like this, you can see, you can see the company code, you can see the payroll area, personal area, then this is your payroll area. You can see this position, job key, organization key, sub area, and person sub area. So all these detail that we have it into your SAP HCM. All right, and the module that we will be covering on during the training session, which includes your recruitment, OM, PA, time, payroll, and your reports. All right, so I think that was pretty much useful, because since you are already into your SAP HCM, so I have not gone into that detail, which I normally do with my another session, because you already said it's like you are aware about those basic things. It's just that you want training into depth.
Yes.
So
Actually, I did try to get a help of one of my colleagues in learning some OM and basic stuff, what does there in PA 2030. So I got a little knowledge about it, but unfortunately, I could not proceed and get full knowledge because it's giving me enough understanding or
you right, your colleague will never give you full knowledge. See, it's a competition for them also, right? Why they will create another competition?
Maybe so, yeah.
See, I work as a project manager. When I was also into at that level, when I was doing all these configurations, why would I create a competition for me? If anybody is going to ask me, I'm going to show them something, but I will not show them the actual thing, right?
Yeah.
So there are certain things. It's like which has to. So there are certain things, which and see those technical things, it is such a way, that you will have to take a training. You can't learn it of your own. See, that's a very honest answer, which I'm telling it to you, because I not only SAP HCM, I am also into success factor.
Okay.
All right. So I know it's like by looking at books, and everything, you actually can't read and everything. You can't understand. You actually need a trainer who can tell you, when it comes to the technical part of it.
Yeah. So that's what like I said I have worked for some time if you see when I started my career I started with EP admin and Within Pro. And then after that, after I came here, I thought okay, I should shift to HCM. But it took so much time for me, busy with other works. Then I thought, should I go for success factor? But again, in my company, they have blocked success factor for some reason, they don't want to put HR into cloud. So I thought, okay, let me first to basically my main intention is to get proper training and finish one certification and then proceed with success factor or whatever is on top of it, because maybe long time it's my aim to do HCM certification. Just that now I want to be make sure it's getting done. So
absolutely,
what would be your advice or the procedure I should follow?
See, moving to technical, it is always a good idea, and especially if you are from India, because to be honest, the world cannot function without India into IT. That's a very honest statement. Because entire world has to depend on India, in IT sector. I have traveled across the globe and I have seen it's like how those people actually they work. So when it comes to IT, it's like, and if you are from here, there's a big major, that boost it comes to be, and India is into IT like anything, right? And it is
I'm from Chennai actually. I'm from Tamil Nadu.
Yeah, that is also Chennai is also part of India only, right?
Yeah.
So it is always a beneficial, if you are into an IT, it always gives a boost to your career. So that's one thing. And if, it all across the, if you get train into this one, so that gives also a boost to your career. Then across globally, it's like the people world has recognized India into IT, and then then they try to get all those help and everything from those people. So it's always a good move.
Yes. Basically, what would be the training timings or number of days you will go in the usual schedule?
Okay. Well, the number of days in a week, if you if you opt for a weekdays, it is going to be your, which is going to happen into your, Monday to Friday. But if you opt for the weekend, which is going to happen into your Saturday and Sunday.
Okay.
All right. So.
No, actually, basically here it is like Friday and Saturday is off.
Okay.
Sunday
Yeah,
is
I know. I know. I am taking some batch from Dubai and into the Gulf area, so I know it's like that Friday and Saturday it's an off for you that side.
Yes.
So are you saying it's like you will be comfortable to take the session on Friday and Saturday?
No. I'm okay on any day, but I don't want to disturb people on their weekend Sunday. Okay. So
Yeah.
if they want to schedule it on Friday, Saturday, and maybe one day in 1 or 2 days, like that's what I want to ask. Like how usually the schedule goes. Like they take 3 days a week, or they take 2 days a week.
No. If it is like if you offer Monday to Friday, it is going to be your 1 hour each session is going to happen. But because I am also working, right? So I can only give and I also have the another batch from which I'm taking the training. But if you offer the weekend, in that case, in that case, what will happen? I will take the 2 hour session, and then and then that's or maybe 2.5 hour session for each day it's going to be there on the weekend.
Okay.
All right, so it is the same thing. So 5 hour into the weekdays, and 5 hour also it will be happening on the weekend as well.
Okay, no problem. So when you are taking in the weekdays for your current schedule, what are the time slot like?
See, I have a time slot, which is, at present, I have, this time slot, which is, I have it at 10 o'clock, which is available with me right now.
10 o'clock, I could be 10 o'clock at night or in the morning?
10 o'clock in the night.
10 o'clock in the night. That's okay with me. That is for me.
Yeah, it's a difference of, I believe, 1.5 hour, right?
Yes, right.
Dubai it's a difference of 1.5 hours. So 10 o'clock is going to be for me, and for you it is going to be 8:30.
Yes.
Right. So
yes, it is.
Right. So anyhow, the center will get in touch with you for all the registration and everything. Once the registration and everything has been done, then probably they're going to inform me, and then we're going to start with your session. All right. And as I said, the module which will be covered during the session that will include your recruitment, ONPA, time, payroll, and your reporting.
Okay, fine. And from your past experience, like how good is the time frame to do a certification? Like 3 months, 6 months? What do you think? Like what will be the target?
My suggestion, it would be like the moment I complete with the training, I'm going to just appear for the certification as soon as possible then, because everything it will be fresh into your mind, right?
Yeah.
So everything it will be fresh into your mind, and plus when you are when anybody they offer a training, they always ensure that they have those time that they can prepare, go through with all those documentation and everything. So I will also send you all those documentation and everything. It's like those books and everything. So which you will have to actually read all those things so that you can prepare for the certification at the same time.
Sure.
And also, this is the best way to prepare for the technical thing. See, because with the technical thing, there is a one thing. It's like if you don't practice and if you don't be in touch, you always tend to keep on forgetting those details.
True.
So the best way it is like the moment my training is going to get over, I'm just a week before or something, just apply for the certification then.
Okay.
All right. So center will get in touch with you, Yusuf, or if not, then probably you get in touch with the center. So there would be some registration detail and everything, and then we're going to start with your session.
Sure. Thank you, Ashish.
Yeah. Okay then, Yusuf.
Thank you, sir.